speaking of Russia, a Russian lawmaker has now said that Russia will arrest gay athletes and tourists at the Olympic Games of 2014. The Winter Olympics of 2014 will be held in Russia. And we've had a lot of controversy, groups suggesting boycotts of the Russian Olympics because of the very strong anti-gay stances that Russia has taken over the last 6 months or so. And a Russian lawmaker now said, speaking to Interfax, and it's been translated by GSN, this is Milanov, he said, "I have not heard any comments from the government of the Russian Federation, but I know it is going to act in accordance with Russian law. If a law has been approved by the federal legislature and signed by the president, then the government has no right to suspend it. It doesn't have the authority." And of course, he's talking about arresting gay people. He's talking about being gay being illegal. And I am very genuinely curious about how this is going to go down, because this is just not going to fly, Lewis. There is absolutely no way that the Olympic Committee, there's a lot of things we can say about groups like the Olympic Committee and the World and FIFA that organizes the World Cup in terms of how they push out small businesses and poor people from the areas around these big sporting events, bring in huge vendors, and then leave the area destroyed, and it never recovers and it never does well. We can have that conversation, and we've had it many times before, but I have a very hard time believing that the International Olympic Committee, with influence from so many countries that do understand that you can't discriminate against gays and lesbians, I can't imagine they're going to allow this to happen.
Well, I believe they wouldn't want it to happen, but I also know how stubborn and proud Russians can be in matters like this. So I'm not really sure what will happen. I think they'll probably just continue to flex their muscles and say, well, we can do it if we want to, and we will do it, but they probably just won't.
Right. So in terms of keeping their pride, if it doesn't happen that they try to arrest athletes or tourists, that, by the way, how do they identify them as gay? Is it only if a guy kisses a guy in public, or what? Is there a questionnaire? I don't know. But putting the logistical questions aside, they'll say, we decided not to do it, but we could have. It was just our choice. We decided just not to do it. We're going to keep watching it. A lot of people calling for boycotts of the Olympic Games. Unclear if that's going to happen, but it's an interesting story nonetheless.